Well, hello everybody and happy Tuesday. Araya on Raw coming to you live here and For the Love of Dragons. And some of you might have caught, this is take two. Very briefly, I came on and I realized that I needed to get my microphone. I'm trying to always remember to do that. So I found it interesting because the subject I want to talk about today is magic. Magic in the quantum field, whether you call it New Earth, Fifth Dimension, quantum field. It's a level of consciousness where we start really accessing and aligning to our higher self, all that we know, all the laws of the universe that we are aware of, coming in as higher dimensional beings into this lower playing field. So when I realized that I needed to do that and I stopped and just decided to do a retake, I had to go get my microphone, the connector to the phone, the flash cord connector. And lo and behold, knowing I'm running late, I don't really pay attention to time too closely now, and clicked my phone on again to start the video, and it was 11:22, and I thought, isn't that perfect? That's an absolute alignment into magic and exactly what I'm talking about. So having this little foible come in of, oh, I've got to turn my volume up and I've got to get my microphone and I can't find the connector, it's in the other room, and all of a sudden it aligns us into a time of, all right, alignment into magic, starting at 11:22, and allowing yourself to start become aware of, is magic possible? Do I remember how to do it? Does it align to my life? Am I using it? Am I allowing it? It's really about allowing it to flow through you and holding your intention to get there. And some of you might be thinking, well, how is this connected to the dragons? And I want to share that and how the dragons are going to help you on your journey to remove all the stuff that's in the way from getting to that magic, because that's when life becomes joy. And I know if you've been following me for any amount of time, you've heard me talk many times about being able to live in your passion, to be in your joy. It's not work anymore. What you're doing, what you're meant to be doing is your passion, your joy, and everything flows like magic out of your life, out of your fingers in a flow that even in those moments where you think, well, I'm intending this, but it's not coming, if you can recognize and see the perfection of the timing, as I shared, like the Dragon Oracle deck, having that released, I expected it early May, right? Well, it came in its own timing, and I kept holding the intention of the whole project and it coming in its perfect timing, even though I wanted it sooner. I wanted to get it out to the people that had pre-ordered sooner, and yet it arrived on Freedom Weekend. And if you didn't catch last week's live about that with the first Dragon Oracle deck reading, I encourage you to go back in the feed or go to the YouTube channel. It's Invoke Healing International for the YouTube channel, Dragons Playlist, and go back and catch that, because that was a perfect example of magic flowing in. Of they arrived on Saturday afternoon of Freedom Weekend here in the United States, 4th of July weekend. So a full 3-day weekend set aside for people to celebrate and recognize their freedom, their independence, what this country was founded on. And that perfection of that energy, and the fact that that reading was the Diamond Rainbow Dragon, and that that dragon's energy is about that. It was perfectly aligned. Like, that to me was magic. And again, that dragon came in again yesterday in my ongoing Dragon Heart group, carrying that same energy forward. And we're in that. It's about freedom. It's about possibility. It's about inversion. Everything about this realm, the truth as you know it, is actually inverted. And when we start to recognize that, we start to really align through the doorway into the quantum field with the greater aspect of ourselves. And this is where I want to share and talk about magic, because that's when we're aligned with ourselves, when we're aligned into our highest truth and living in that alignment, we know so much more. We know how the laws operate, and that's where we're headed right now. There's a period of shift right now. We're in a doorway where that's really becoming more prevalent than 3D drudge and sort of the muddiness that holds us back and gets us stuck. And everybody's at different phases of that. So you might be listening and going, well, I feel like I'm stuck in the mud. I feel like I'm really still trudging and trying to pull myself up and out. And what I'm saying is, yes, you may be there, but the front runners, there's always those that are pushing the envelopes open, are holding that space now, and the quantum field is opening and they're in it. And that's allowing the magic to start coming through. And when you start seeing it in the small ways in your life, then you're going to start calling in the bigger ways. So I want to share a story that happened last week of one of these divine perfect magic moments of holding an intention and calling it in. And that's how the flow of the universe actually works. So we are big into camping, my family, and on our camping trip, 2 camping trips ago, we had our last, 3, the first camping trip we got to have campfires, but now the West, there's lots of fires, huge fire danger. We're in over 100-degree temperatures, extreme fire danger, and so they've shut off all the campfires, as they should. It's really smart because not everybody's very vigilant and conscious with their fires in their pit. They don't always get them all out, and it takes one ash to set the forest on fire, one kindling spark drifting off, and that's what a lot of the fires start from, besides lightning. So knowing that we couldn't have fires, and most of our camping trips were in somewhere in Northern California, I started seeing people with these fire bowls. They've got beautiful propane fire bowls like you set on your patio, and you have instant fire, right? Fire ring, lava rocks, really beautiful. And they work great as a replacement in a campground because they're propane. You can shut it off immediately. They're allowed, and you can set it on the fire pit itself. I mean, that is part of the campsite, so it's in the right place where there's not a lot of growth or vegetation around it. So knowing I wanted to get one of these so that all of our camping trips for the rest of the summer would be able to have fire, because fire is a cleansing element, and it's I love feeling the dragons and the fire dragon come through. There's a beautiful post into the group today of an amazing fire dragon. It was a fire dragon sighting in Wisconsin, literally coming out of the flames. I've seen many dragons coming out of the flames. Really beautiful example of it. But this fire aspect wanted it for our trip. So knowing I was leaving Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. and I had ordered it the previous Tuesday night or Monday night, I thought, well, I hope they ship tomorrow so that it gets here in time. They didn't ship till Wednesday, and I just said, it's going to be okay. We're gonna receive it before we leave. Held that intention all week long, and then I get the FedEx tracking notice of it will be delivered sometime Tuesday before 9 p.m. I thought, shoot, we're leaving at 10 a.m. Okay, really got to visualize it, got to hold that magic intention. This is what it's about, of being able to be so aligned into your energy field that you can see and feel it and know it. It's beyond belief, it's knowing, and there's a difference there. So this was a great example because I've been trying to hold with my sons how to do that, how to see the reality of it. And I've done smaller examples with them for a time, but this one I pulled my 12-year-old over the morning of, is about 9 o'clock, and I said, we're planning to leave by 10. I feel like we're running behind because I've got all these things to do to prep to leave, and I know we're not going to leave right at 10. And I said, hold the intention with me, visualize it, see it. The box is arriving, the FedEx truck is driving up. He's stopping in front of our driveway as I'm hooking up the trailer, and we're about ready to pull out. So we're blocked by the FedEx truck, and he's delivering it to us, and we have a space right in the back of the car to slide it in. He said, well, I don't know, Mom, that's crazy. That's like, okay, whatever. So I said, just hold it. Just hold the intention with me. See it happening. And sure enough, by, it was 11:15, I think. No, it was right around 11 o'clock. Because I was close to leaving. I was about to pull the car out of the driveway and go hook up, and something distracted me. And as I was going to the garage to pull the car out, here comes a knock on the door. Ding dong. I thought, oh, the FedEx truck is here. Sure enough, FedEx truck drove up right around 11 a.m., got it, put it in, we drove out within 10 minutes as soon as I got the trailer hooked up. So that is magic. That is real magic, and the flow of natural abundance in our life, of letting everything flow to us with ease. Because it can, and it should, and that's the normal operation of the universe when we are in harmony with it. And you might say, well, I did that and it didn't arrive. Well, there are certain things that are meant to be in their perfect timing. This one aligned because it fit with our whole intention of the joy we were going to get out of it, the energy that was around it. And so it aligned. And you have to allow, just like I shared the example of the deck, when it doesn't come in your timing, it is in perfect divine timing. And our job there is to recognize what the divine timing is and allow it to be, and rest in the ease and not the stress of, oh, I need it now, I need it now, I need it now. We need to let go of the control of the reins and see and allow the understanding to come in of why something's delayed, why it's not coming exactly how we intended or saw it. Because there is always reason and purpose, and your higher self is directing the show. And where do the dragons fit in with that? So this is the part that gets exciting because for many of you in the group, you're new to dragons, you want to learn about it. We have a lot of new members every week that when they answer the questions come in the group, they're like, I don't know much. I want to learn more about dragons. I want to learn more about how to work with them. And one of the things to understand about them and why they are here with us is that they are bringing us to the place where we can see and feel the release of all the barriers, all the belief systems, all the pieces that are blocking us from that magic. It's part of the veil. It's part of the veil that we live within and have created and we've allowed to build up around us. And a lot of times we can't see it. We can't see the forest for the trees. And the dragons are the ones that are going to help you come in and get clarity very quickly. That's the thing about the dragons, is they work so efficiently and so rapidly that they start helping move stuff out. And maybe you've been doing a lot of clearing work on your own and you feel like, I just have all this stuff stuck in my energy field. They can burn it out very, very quickly so that you can see the next phase, see the next step, feel that guidance forward. And they are such allies and companions in that, and they have a gift. They hold magic within their being. They are from a realm that carries magic. They are the original magic. The whole reason that the rainbow realms have magic within it is because the dragons are part of that. The dragons helped create the rainbow realms. And yes, there are dragons that emanate from and within the rainbow realms, and all the beings there carry the magic, but it's because it was infused from the dragons. So as we learn to work with them, we recognize and understand, and that's where the book is a great, great tool for that. So The Dragon Within at dragonwithin.com. It's in paperback, it's in hardback, it's in ebook, in 3 different versions. So whatever fits for your purpose, for whatever works for you. You like to read on Kindle, you like to read in your lap. It's there, and it's in 3 languages, English, French, and Spanish, because the time is now. The dragons have been very present, especially in the last 4 years. I wrote the book back in 2007, but their time is now because they are here for this transition time. We're in a massive, amazing transition right now. We are moving through into the new earth, and this is like no other time. And you've heard that from a lot of different people, but it's true. And the dragons are a part of that. They are transferring their guardianship of the matrices of this universe. They're handing it over. They've been here since the inception. They've now had their completion point. They've gotten humanity through to this point, and now many of them, because they're able to release their stations, are freed up to come and guide and give you that boost, that comfort, that push to push you forward in your own release in this journey towards our ascension. Because we are in an ascension process for those that want to go there on a soul level. If you are one that knows you're moving into the 5D quantum field, call in the dragons. You don't know how? That's what the book is for. That's what the guidebook is for. And I'm beyond excited that I now have the deck that came in its perfect timing, the Divining with the Dragons. Super powerful. And I will read a card today just because I want to start doing that to see what the energy is for you guys for this week. Last week was about freedom. But this is another amazing tool that I've already seen. Ashley is out doing readings for people off of her own page, because she loves them, and she's offering that, saying, who can I do a reading for? Because she knows that the dragons need to be introduced to everybody, and this is how they do it. And this is a great way to start working with, calling in some of the dragons that aren't in the book. Here's that diamond rainbow dragon from last week, still there. He was red again yesterday, so he's on the top. He's really holding that space for us. So using whatever tools you need, but knowing that the dragons are available, and learning how to call them in, allowing the CD tracks that come with the book, even a guided meditation. Maybe you don't want to invest $22 in an ebook that includes a full CD. I feel like it's a pretty good deal. But there are guided meditations. There's a free one. You don't have to spend money to get in touch with the dragons. And the free Calling in Your Dragon meditation on the site is just for that, to start working with them if you're new to it and get your feet wet. And as I said, the YouTube channel, there's a playlist, 3 years worth of weekly videos on questions you may have about the dragons. Peruse the subjects. See what resonates with you. Always follow your heart. Right now we are in a journey where you have to follow the heart. The heart is guiding us through. The heart is the doorway, the key, and we are merging and fusing our wisdom centers and our power centers through that heart space to move into our light body, into our perfected human form. And it's the first time it's ever been done. Super exciting that we are actually transitioning and keeping the body with us. This was the design of the experiment. Is it possible? Can we move this plane into it and out of a 3D low-level polarized experience and into the quantum field while keeping that physical form, so that humanity as a whole, as a species, can actually resonate with the rest of the universe at a higher frequency and maintain it. So we're opening that door to possibility. Even if not all humans can do that yet, because some are doing it, they are moving into the collective. They're seeding that potential. That's what we do. Everything we do and bring in seeds that potential into the collective. So let's see. Sometimes when you're shuffling, you get the card to fall out. This is how a lot of people do decks. I like to sit and hold the deck and feel where the energy is calling me to split it. I feel energy very directly, so I like to follow the energy of the dragon that's speaking the loudest. I can feel it right here. Actually, is it that one or is it? Yep, it's that one. Ooh, and we have the sapphire dragon. Interesting. Beautiful sapphire dragon. So that's interesting because I felt the real pull of the Middle Earth dragons today. I pulled down obsidian and amethyst to be in view with me, but I have the sapphire right here to my right. So the sapphire dragon, let's go ahead and read that for you guys. The energy of the sapphire dragon is with you, and the sapphire dragon is about truth. All of the Middle Earth dragons have an element of truth, but the sapphire dragon in particular works with groups, sort of like King Arthur's table. The round table of the knights was about absolute truth within a group, transparency. So the key words on the card are transparency, harmony, and vision. So you may be involved in, and I'll go ahead and read actually from the book, but this typically involves group, communal harmony. And this is what is needed right now. So for those that are on the call right now, or on the live, and those that are going to be catching the replay, there's something in this for you of looking to the bigger communal vision. And I found before this, I was actually on my Facebook feed looking through my homeschooling group. We're homeschooling this year, moving into that, feeling really aligned with that. And that is a bigger communal vision as well, of shifting the dynamic of the school system, the way that they have really brought education into rote memorization and doing to please, and what I feel doesn't really align with the creativity that needs to be flowing out of my kids, and the quality of work versus the quantity of stuff they've been given. More playtime, more free creativity time. So interesting that communal vision was part of what I was doing in the hour before this, and that's coming in now. So let me see where our sapphire dragon, here he is. Group truth. So the key word for the sapphire dragon, besides those three, transparency, harmony, and vision, is group truth. So holding that too, I feel like that's connected even for this group, for the love of dragons. You are being called to recognize some deeper currents running within your community. This may be a relationship, your family, a committee you sit on, or in your community at large. The frequency of the sapphire dragon is about group dynamic and holding a pillar of truth, which entails equality, justice, and patience for all to be heard, for all to be held accountable, and to maintain transparency in all dealings with each other. Without these, harmony cannot endure. Blame never serves. Where is their blame being thrown around? Where is their responsibility being pushed away from the individual instead of the whole group pulling it together and saying, there's no need to blame. Let's just find the common ground. Let's find the movement forward. Walls never serve. All need to be welcome at the table. Where do you need to step up your role in your group? Where do you need to speak truth in order to release undercurrents of discord and mistrust that are eating away at the integrity of the group? Where can you lead by example into the hard spaces of the group dynamic to bring it into even greater harmony? This sapphire dragon will be your ally to do so. So some level of truth is coming up. Hello, Crystal. Good to see you. Yeah, you haven't caught a live for ages. Nice to see you there. So this is the group truth. This is the card pulling forward today. And I love that it's aligned with magic too, because the Middle Earth dragons of all the ones that work with humanity directly, the Middle Earth dragons are really, I think, holding the most magic within their realm still in Middle Earth for us to access, and they bring that forward. So it all ties into the energy of the day and what I was sharing in my story. So hopefully you can start to see and align where you feel out of alignment. Call in one of the dragons. If you have a deck, or if you don't have one, maybe you want to get one. Pull and see, what dragon do I need to work with to help me get into my magic, to help me find and release what's blocking me from it, what's blocking me from my connection to myself. So beautiful. So aligned right now, of course. Yes, Nancy, great to see you on there. It does feel really aligned, and I feel really serene in this moment of just stillness, being within that and feeling that wave go out to the group dynamic for that harmony. Because as a community, we're going through this together. This is, yes, on your personal level, about your personal community, whether it's your family or whatever. And thank you for that, Nancy. Excited to have the deck finally here in physical. But this ripple that we send out is going to the greater human collective community, because this shift isn't just for a small group. It's not just for, maybe there's schools of thought out there that there's 144,000 and they're making the shift. No, they're helping create. Those are light workers that are helping create and open the doorways so that everyone, the collective, can go through. We go through as one. The community is going through as one, and that's my full body tingles on that. Nice to see you, Leslie. So allowing that energy now to ripple out to all of us, to hold that for the communal vision, because as we create harmony within our own personal community, that is allowing the collective to feel that harmony, and that moves us into communal collective harmony on larger and larger. Starts with us. That old saying, be the change you want to see in the world, it literally is about that. When you want to see harmony, you have to be holding that framework, holding that within yourself, and knowing that there are dragons specifically to come in and work with those individual pieces for you, and you just need to allow them to come in. Call them in, use the book, use the deck, use the guided meditations, and find what you need to get you there. So hoping you're having a fabulous week. I will see you next week. Keep that harmony going. Dive into your truth. Call the Sapphire Dragon in. Sapphire Dragon doesn't usually work directly. The Emerald Dragon has been there, Jezebel, working with us for a while. But I think the Sapphire is now ready to come in certain levels with people, especially in communities. So if you have a community going on, maybe you have a small schooling group, maybe you have an association, some kind of communal association, you can invite the Sapphire Dragon energy to come in and around every meeting that you hold. Not everybody there has to be spiritually awake. It's actually more beneficial for many that aren't, because that's going to affect their field. If you bring that energy in, if you know dragons, and you can bring them into that energetic in that room as meetings are happening, your school boards, your community leaders meetings, your community forums, whatever is going on, if you call the dragons in, that space will be held, and they will help rise it to another level so that people feel that need to speak truth. So that they know within them, like, whoa, maybe I haven't been acting. Maybe I haven't been really speaking out of saying no to this, of saying, wow, we need to go a different direction. Look what's happening here or there in our community. So if you know how to bring the magic in, if you know how to bring the dragons in, use that to everybody's advantage, because they are here to hold a frequency. Everything's energy, right? They're here to hold a frequency and bring everybody into that. And that includes all of those that aren't awake yet, that have nothing to do with dragons, that don't know anything about anything. And yeah, Leslie, Sapphire coming up really strong. Absolutely. Hello, Liz. Good to see you. So always good to see my dragon family. Feel free to share out whatever parts of anything that I share so that more and more can be awakened and move into their ascension process and get the dragon's assistance. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye, everybody, for now.